If you planned an encounter for your players, spent hours setting it up hoping it would last a few hours only to have your players absolutely plow through your baddie like a knife through butter, here's why. First of all, role-playing aside, like any game, D&D is based entirely on mechanics. This is the core of the problem with encounters being too easy or even too hard. The amount of resources that your players get, I'm talking about spells, magic items, attacks, abilities that reset on short or long rests, etc. They are all built on mechanics and numbers, and D&D especially is designed to have players encounter 4 to 6 challenges a day, depending on the size of the party. So if you're a DM that is throwing one fight at them and then letting them shop around the city, of course your players are going to breeze through your encounters. All they've done with their day is exercised and had breakfast. Dungeons & Dragons is simply set up for 3 to 5 times what you are throwing at them. By not doing so, you're throwing the balance way off heavily in the favor of your players. So what do? Throw more bad guys at them? You can do that, but then you're dragging out a session and risking making it feel like the players are on a hack and slash treadmill rather than actually telling a story, which at the end of the day is what you really want to do best. If what you want is just a hack and slash, great. For some players that's cool, but the average player is going to check out quickly if you don't keep the pacing up, and that's exhausting for the DM. So lore, then what do? I'll tell you what, you challenge them in other ways that are not combat. Engaging your players' intellect with intricate puzzles not only adds depth to your Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but also serves as a clever way to compel them to expend their valuable resources. You're really just tricking them into thinking it's one spell slot here or there, but dragging it out between long rests means that when they face the baddie after a few encounters, they are suddenly down half of their superpower juice and need a refill. Now that encounter with your vampire is starting to look a lot more terrifying. Speaking of vampires, just in time for the spooky season, we have put up our first all-in-one mini campaign for you guys, the Blood Lily Masquerade, and you can get the whole thing for free by becoming a member of our Patreon. You'll get early access to videos, a character sheet with our little buddy Tobias as the star, and a new mini campaign every single month, as well as free emojis, comment shoutouts, and your name in the Tome of Legends on our page. Back to our video, you can also challenge your players more by crafting riddles that specifically require the use of spells or magical abilities to solve. For instance, a riddle might describe a room locked by an enchantment that can only be dispelled with a particular spell or a series of spells, or a door that only opens with elemental magic. You can also design challenging environments that naturally deplete resources, right? Picture a scorching desert, a treacherous mountain pass, or a cursed forest. Climbing a mountain face requires a fly spell or spider climb, while traveling a desert might require create water every so often to keep from dehydrating. Surviving in these hostile landscapes should consume spells, items, and abilities, and that's not a bad thing. This is actually adding an extra layer of strategic resource management for the players that, at least for me, I think it makes it more fun. You should also encourage immersive role-playing by creating scenarios that demand negotiation, persuasion, or disguise. Players might need to navigate political intrigue, infiltrate an enemy stronghold, or win the trust of a skeptical NPC. These encounters can be just as resource draining as combat, when players need to use spells or items creatively to achieve those goals. And lastly, just try throwing in some more easily won combat more frequently. This is a good fallback that can do the trick. You don't need to keep them constantly wondering if they're going to die in the next battle. In fact, I recommend that you don't do that and learn instead how to create combats that challenge them and their skills. If you make every combat deadly, the encounter with your BBEG later just won't feel as impactful because they're used to that feeling all the time. So there you have it. Make your players suck more in battle by making them use more. That's just the way to do it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Forge on, my friends, and we'll see you next time, adventurers.